Emma sat on the edge of her hotel bed, sunlight streaming through the balcony curtains, her phone in hand, thumb hovering over the screen. The notification icon blinked with messages, all from her husband, Daniel. "Where are you? Are you okay? Please call me." She sighed, rolling her eyes before pressing down on his name and hitting block. The moment she did, a strange thrill coursed through her, a mix of defiance and liberation. For months, she had felt suffocated by Daniel's quiet routines, his questions about dinner plans, his early mornings, and his calm, predictable love. She told herself this week in Santorini with her friends wasn't cheating, it was freedom. A week without check-ins, without his steady eyes watching her every move. A week to find herself again. Her best friend, Chloe, cheered her on. "Girl, you deserve this. No husband, no guilt, no rules." That night, Emma wore the red dress Daniel once called too revealing, and she laughed louder than she had in months. Men noticed her, compliments flowed, and with each one, her heart fluttered with the kind of attention she thought she'd lost long ago. One man in particular, Leo, charming, tall, and easy on the eyes, kept her company at the bar. When he called her the kind of woman who doesn't need permission to live, Emma smiled. She didn't mention Daniel. Not once. Back home, Daniel sat in the kitchen, phone in hand, eyes fixed on the last message she'd sent, "Don't worry about me, I just need space." He reread it dozens of times. Emma had been distant for months, shorter replies, colder hugs, more nights out with friends. He never wanted to control her, he only wanted her happy. But blocking him? That hit differently. He felt something crack inside him. Still, he didn't chase. He decided if she needed space, he'd give her space, more than she expected. The week passed, and Emma lived it up, beach parties, candlelit dinners, photos of sunsets she never sent him. But by the 6th day, the rush began to fade. Leo had moved on to another girl. Chloe was too busy flirting to talk. And when the laughter stopped, all Emma could hear was the silence of her hotel room. She looked at her phone, opened Instagram, and noticed something strange. Daniel's profile was gone. His number didn't show blocked anymore. In fact, his contact had disappeared completely. A pang of unease hit her. "Maybe he's just angry," she muttered. But part of her, a deep, uncomfortable part, felt something heavier. When her flight landed 2 days later, she expected an angry husband waiting at the arrival's gate. Instead, no one was there. No texts, no calls. The car wasn't in the lot. When she reached home, the driveway was empty. The house was spotless, unnervingly so. Her clothes folded neatly in suitcases near the door, her drawers empty. On the kitchen counter lay a single envelope with her name written in Daniel's precise handwriting. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a note. "You wanted space, so I gave it to you. You said you needed freedom, so I set you free. I used this week to think, not about what you've done, but about what I deserve. Silence can be cruel, can't it? That's what I felt every night you chose to shut me out. I've moved out. The papers are with my lawyer. Take care, Emma. You finally have the freedom you wanted." Her throat tightened. She called his number. "The number you have dialed is no longer in service." She checked social media. Daniel had deleted every trace of their life together. Their anniversary photos, their trips, their wedding, all gone. Panic swelled in her chest. She drove to his office, only to be told he had resigned a week ago. Said he was relocating, the receptionist said casually. Didn't say where. By evening, the house that once felt too quiet now echoed like a tomb. Emma walked into their bedroom and sat on his side of the bed. The pillow was gone, the scent of his cologne faded. The silence she once craved now pressed on her like a weight she couldn't escape. Her friends told her to move on, but deep down she knew Daniel hadn't just left her physically. He had erased himself from her world completely. Days turned into weeks. Emma tried calling mutual friends, but no one knew where he'd gone. His family wouldn't talk to her. The divorce papers arrived neatly sealed, his signature already on the dotted line. She cried then, not just because she'd lost him, but because she realized how easily he had accepted her absence. The man who used to wait up for her now wanted no part of her story. One night, scrolling through old photos, she found a video from their second anniversary. Daniel was holding the camera, laughing as Emma danced around the kitchen. "Don't ever stop talking to me, Em," he said playfully. "I don't think I could stand the silence." That line hit her like a dagger. She buried her face in her hands, realizing that silence, the very thing she once demanded, had become her punishment. Months later, Emma spotted him by chance in a cafe across town. He looked different, peaceful, confident, even smiling with another woman. For a moment, she thought he'd look up, recognize her, say something. But he didn't. He never even glanced her way. It was as if she was invisible, a ghost from a past life he'd already buried. As she walked away, tears blurred her vision. She wanted to call out, to apologize, to explain that the week of freedom wasn't meant to end like this. But deep down, she knew it was too late. The silence she gave him had taught him how to live without her, and now, he was doing just that. That night, alone in her empty apartment, Emma unlocked her phone and opened their old chat thread. It was still blank, the last message still hers, "Don't worry about me, I just need space." She stared at it until her vision blurred, whispering to herself, "I didn't know space could mean losing everything." The irony wasn't lost on her. She had blocked him for a week, but the silence that followed lasted forever.